Good evening and welcome to Ukraine Brief. I'm your host, Salia Strzemska. We bring you the latest updates from the battlefield and diplomatic front lines of the war-torn country. It's been 1,338 days since the start of the Russian invasion. Russia carried out another drone attack overnight. At least 3 people have been killed and more than 10 wounded in attacks across several regions of Ukraine. Overnight on Thursday, Russia launched another massive drone attack on Kyiv, injuring at least 9 people, 2 of them seriously. The assault caused fires and significant damage across 3 districts of the capital, with debris from downed drones hitting residential buildings, schools and dozens of cars. According to the National Police, 2 Shahed-type drones that had struck buildings without exploding were retrieved from an apartment and balcony in 2 districts after falling on high-rise buildings during the latest attack on Ukraine's capital. The latest attack follows a wave of missile and drone strikes across Ukraine on Wednesday, which left 7 people dead, including 2 children, and triggered widespread power outages. At least 2 people were injured in a Russian aerial attack on a railway station in the Sumy region, including 2 railway workers. In the neighboring Kharkiv region, Russian forces launched a double-tap attack on Wednesday night, killing 1 rescue worker and injuring 5 others from Ukraine's state emergency service. In the Donetsk region, Russian forces launched drone strikes on Kramatorsk, causing a fire at a local market, damaging buildings and injuring several people. In the Zaporizhia region, 17 people were wounded as Russian forces launched a series of attacks, primarily using FPV drones, artillery and rocket strikes. Homes, cars and critical facilities were also damaged. The city of Kherson was also the target of a Russian attack, which sparked a large fire in 2 buildings. No injuries were reported. In another tragic development, 2 Ukrainian journalists were killed and a 3rd injured today when a Russian drone targeted them in Kramatorsk. According to Ukraine's National Police, on Thursday at around 9:30 a.m. local time, a Russian kamikaze Lancet drone targeted a civilian vehicle at a gas station in Kramatorsk, killing 2 journalists and injuring 1. The attack was condemned by President Volodymyr Zelenskyy and described as a war crime by Ukraine's human rights ombudsman. 3 journalists from Ukraine's Freedom TV channel were in a car at a gas station documenting the aftermath of a previous shelling of the city when they were struck by a drone. Donetsk region governor Vadim Filashkin confirmed the attack and the victims: Olena Hubanova, 43, and Yevhen Karmazin, 33. Ukraine's Freedom TV also confirmed the deaths of their journalists. Since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, at least 135 media workers have been killed, and 848 crimes against journalists and media outlets have been reported, according to the Institute of Mass Information. We at TVP World extend our deepest condolences to their families and loved ones over this tragic loss. Meanwhile, Ukraine struck the Russian Ryazan oil refinery and an ammunition depot in the Belgorod region. Ukraine confirmed drone strikes on Thursday night, targeting the Ryazan oil refinery and an ammunition depot near Valyuki, Belgorod region. Explosions and a large fire were reported at the target site, according to a statement from Ukraine's general staff. Footage emerging on social media shows both fire and smoke. Russia's defense ministry earlier reported shooting down 14 drones over the Ryazan region, stating, as a result of debris falling, a fire broke out at one of the facilities. The U.S. administration has imposed sanctions on Russia's major oil companies, Lukoil and Rosneft, all in an effort to pressure Moscow into agreeing to a peace deal. The U.S. Treasury Department said Russia's 2 largest oil companies, Rosneft and Lukoil, were targeted in a bid to damage Moscow's ability to fund its war machine. It's the first time President Donald Trump's administration has imposed sanctions on Moscow over its war against Ukraine. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy and Sweden's Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson have signed a letter of intent aimed at strengthening Ukraine's air capabilities. The agreement, which was signed in Sweden on Wednesday, could see Ukraine buy 150 Gripen fighter jets. The Gripen is a fourth-generation light single-engine supersonic fighter jet. It is a so-called multi-role fighter aircraft designed for missions such as air-to-air combat, aerial bombing and reconnaissance. Zelenskyy said Ukraine aimed to receive and start using the Swedish jets next year. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, speaking in Brussels on Thursday, urged the European Union to approve a plan to unlock billions of euros in frozen Russian assets to support Ukraine's defense.
We count on decisions on this topic. It will be very helpful, not only for Ukraine, as I said previously, we are ready to finance or to use a part together with Europeans to strengthen Europe. We have technologies. We are ready to share with the countries who helped us during this war.
Ukraine has recovered the remains of around 1,000 soldiers from Russia in what officials describe as a major repatriation operation. On Thursday, Ukraine confirmed the repatriation of 1,000 bodies returned from Russia, which Moscow claims belong to Ukrainian servicemen. According to Ukraine's coordination headquarters for the treatment of prisoners of war, investigators from law enforcement agencies and experts from the Interior Ministry will conduct all necessary examinations to identify the repatriated bodies. And with this, we conclude Ukraine's brief. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for more here on TVP World.